too. I didn't expect him to, you know.
Oh, I love the scene where he just like, where they're having the conversation, and then
Like, I'll take half, you take half, and he just shoots him.
it makes so much more layers to his character. It makes him more interesting because it shows that he wasn't just willing to walk away and take the money. He didn't want that guy to betray everyone. He has his own morals, and that really sets everything up.
It kind of sets the kid.
Yeah, but it makes the story. We heard this show is going to be dark, and you know, sometimes kids gotta die.
Why'd you guys say like that, Joe?
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just for the story's sake. This is a very dark world that we're living in this time period. Like,
Yeah, very true.
so it's pretty rough. But
I'm really interested to see where it goes next.
oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we know, like this show, like, you know, we have 12 episodes, so like, there's gonna be so much cool stuff that we can do. We got today's. But anyway, guys, this is our little backwards discussion. Because we just finished the episode of Andor. Welcome to Better Call Maul, episode 5, I believe this is. And yeah, I'm saying it's 5 because I think last time was 4, but it might be.
I feel like we already did at least 5 of them.
Maybe we did. Alright, we'll see 6 either way.
It's the next one.
It's the next episode. Yeah, it's the next installment, guys. So, welcome to the podcast. We're going to be discussing lots of things today. So, we'll start with. I think we'll start with the last episode of She-Hulk, and then you want to talk about Andor, or you want to get Andor out of the way and then talk about She-Hulk? Okay. Yeah, that's true. You want to talk about the fresh thing first. All right, so we're going to talk about. We just watched episode 6 of Andor, titled "The Eye." So we're gonna talk about our thoughts on the episode, what we thought about this episode, did we like it, did we not like it, all those things. So I'll let Jake Ford go first because yeah, because you seemed like you had just watched it, so I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one.
There's a lot of like interesting things that I think from the beginning we always kind of got those types of suspense winners where we really didn't know, like we know Andor was survive, but we didn't know cool. So I think throughout the entire heist he was like kind of suspended, like I don't know what's gonna happen. And then I'm not gonna spoil it, but then there's certain characters that like things happen to different characters and like, oh shit, like that guy, I thought that guy was like that guy was, you know, there was a lot of interesting twists that went into the heist. And then that final sword in the air with the TIE fighters and the rocket in the sky. I thought the cinematography, I mean, whoever the director of photography was, the cinematography was amazing. I love the shot of all the things in the sky. And then the last kind of half the part of the show, a lot of interesting things were brought up, so I can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait to see where Andor goes next. We really don't know a lot of else on the show, so we're only halfway into it, so it's gonna be.
That's the crazy thing about 12 episodes. Like, you really don't know where things are gonna go, but you're excited to see where they do go. And you get very, very anxious to see what you get from here on out. I'd say I agree. This is my favorite episode of the show so far. Oh shit! Stupid marshmallow dude got me. But yeah, so I really feel like this episode was something special because the previous ones were slow, but this one had we were doing the heist in this episode, and there was lots of interesting little bits this episode. Like, you got to see, yeah, one of the things I've asked for in the show that we really got to see that I really liked is is this episode they finally started to really bleed into what is the Empire doing in this time period, and who's kind of like, when you don't have a Palpatine invader, who's in charge of these smaller operations. Like obviously the heist is important because it's like involves the entire payroll, and that's a huge thing. But this isn't a Death Star or something we've seen before. It was a different kind of heist, and the fact that I liked the people they had in charge of it, and I liked how even at the end you see they all come together because they want to show you just how feared the Empire is. And
I think another thing I noticed, and we might pick up on this too, is that in these episodes they kind of frame Andor and the group as the bad guys, because you see the Imperial guys, the officers, and they're all fearful for their lives, and you see Andor and this group, taking over and taking charge of threatening their lives. It kind of frames them as the bad guys. So I don't know. I mean, I think there's probably something to say there. I don't know.
I think that just I think that point of perspective is based off the fact that if you look at the story of Star Was, the Empire at this time has taken over at this point in time, and the Empire still has control of Coruscant, and Coruscant was full of senators. So at this stage, when you're trying to when they're trying to build the Republic into the Empire, they want to make sure that they have a stable government. And the best way to do that is to keep the senators happy. If the Empire is going around and just killing a bunch of people and being super menacing and crazy, kind of how the Empire acted in the sequel trilogy, or I guess the first order, because it wouldn't be the Empire, but the next sort of Empire. This is an Empire that is Palpatine has clearly thought his plan through, and he's made contingencies to make his plan work, and he also is able to handle the Senate from everything. Like, he knows what's going on, he wants to make sure that everything is held together the way that it deserves to be for him. So
we definitely picked that up on that at the end of the episode when we see Mon Mothma. She's trying to give her speech, but you can see the whole crowd gets aroused. The whole crowd gets they're all they're all pretty much ignoring her because no one cares about her.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. They're kind of going into the politics. They're doing those politics, but they're going at it in a way that's different to make it seem like, yeah, this is really bad. Like, you're focusing on the wrong thing here. What are you doing? Kind of attitude. So yeah, I really liked that aspect. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, the last a bit of action towards the end of the episode. The cinematography, like you said, was great. I really loved that we got to... I felt like this... As crazy as this was only one episode of a TV show, and I know this whole TV show is based off the whole idea of, like, this is a show about a character that we meet in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this heist gave me a Rogue One vibe in general, because you're getting these new characters that we know next to nothing about, and then they're all just kind of getting disposed of. But there's twists to them. Like, it's not like in Rogue, No, yeah, I'm not gonna say who they are, but I'm just saying that in Rogue One, yeah, yeah, like people might.
If you remember Rogue One, it's very reminiscent.
Yeah, people are definitely.
In the car, we gotta go.
Yeah, people are very expendable in this episode, and yeah, so the Empire's perspective on this was interesting. Seeing the Empire, like you said, seeing the Empire kind of being like heroes and having families and something is something we haven't really seen with the Empire yet. So that was kind of
a very interesting detail that Tony Gilroy wanted to put in to kind of give us this perspective of. I mean, even though the Empire, they're all a bunch of evil bastards and like Nazis, they all still have family that they supposedly care about, and
yep.
I guess it's kind of this. It goes either way. I mean, if you're a rebel, you're obviously going to take steps to do extreme things.
But this episode also tells us that there's not. The other thing is, this episode also tells us that there isn't two sides. There isn't just two sides of the coin. There's also the middle ground of like people are in between as well, which I think was interesting. Like that you can have people that like they'll say they're one thing, but maybe they don't have allegiance to anyone, and I think that's pretty interesting and an interesting take to see where things go moving forward. I'm invested in that idea of the idea of where things are going to go from here. It really intrigues me. I think that's going to be, yeah, I definitely would say this episode was great. It was very good. The action looked very good. The story was very good. The ending really got you excited for the very next episode. Like, you really just, you're like, wow, we're going to end there? That's crazy.
You are right about, you said this earlier. I think Aiden said it earlier too. But, it seems like what they're going with is they're gonna tell Andor in like these three episode increments where they take one episode, like 3 episodes, and kind of it's all comes into one main story.
Yeah.
And then so you think of it, oh shit, about the first 3 episodes. I think they're like squads. Oops, I put it on squads. That's my bad.
Shit.
I put us on squads, it's my bad. But the first 3 episodes were all kind of fit together.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 episodes were again all fit together. So I'm assuming they're gonna do that 2 more times for the next.
Oh, totally, because it's all like individual story arcs. Like we were building to this heist for.
Some people have a problem with that, but then again, that's what almost every show with a storyline does. Not only in 3 episode increments, but like think about like movies or shows like Daredevil. It's done it before.
Yeah, I agree.
Like every like maybe 4 episodes, it starts kind of a new thing, but it still leads the story on. So.
Absolutely, I think that's 100% true. Like I feel like that's
where She-Hulk fails. Is it feels kind of all over the place. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. So
yeah, there isn't a main story. Now they could do the one thing where like they had all these useless episodes to get to a point of like there's a build-up, there's a bigger thing that we're not understanding. But I still think that I don't know if they can. I mean, we'll see. It depends how they handle it. Like if they do like what I think they will do is, I think there's gonna be something. I even told Hunter this today. I think there's gonna be something where literally we're gonna get to this finale, and the reason they put such a heavy focus on Abomination is this season and this show. Whether you think of it, the focus is on Jen as a new character, and Jen was clearly put to work with Abomination. She was clearly not happy about it, right? But she didn't have a choice, so she had to help him. But you know what? They made this arc where they made you want to care about. Oh, Abomination's really turned over, and he's good. But I'll be completely.
Have to do something with Titania because I feel like she was in there, but she felt a little useless. Like you're totally right. They definitely could do something with Abomination, and I think that's what they are going to end up doing.
Yeah, I think it's been building. I think they definitely had, and I think that's the thing, and I think that's the thing that we're probably going to realize is I'd be very surprised if we saw Titania again, because yeah, I just feel like there's not really a point.
The point of her was distract from the main villain who was supposed to be Abomination.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if Abomination is truly the villain, this was all meant to be an under her nose ruse thing, because she's going to go do her thing, and then if he's working with intelligentsia, and this is what.
Back out.
What happened? It go on squads again? Okay.
I forgot to put on squads. Back out.
Oh, let me go.
Sorry about that. Okay, continue with that.
Yeah, so just like I could see them going with the point of like he is literally just like he's been playing this mind game with her, and whether he's being told to do it or he thinks like. It depends how smart we think, like we know that when he's not Abomination, Blonsky is pretty smart, so, see, I wonder if there's almost going to be a thing where, like, because you know how you have kind of Professor Hulk being the one to fight Abomination?
Yeah.
I wonder if Abomination has figured out how to, Like, there's been so much time since we saw.
Did
yeah, go ahead.
Did you see? I saw something on. I don't know if it was edited or not, but I saw on Instagram a picture of them two fighting, and then the shot was expanded and it looked like there was a red arm like reaching out too. So I don't
So
know
you
if
think there's a
that's
Red
just
Hulk in that
hoax.
scene?
I don't know if it's a hoax or not. I just saw that first like that.
If that's
It
possible,
might just be.
if that's possible, then they were really smart by putting that scene of the two Hulks in because they're trying to hide the other thing.
Yeah.
Now, here's the interesting thing, right? The obvious thing that people want to see happen, I don't think they will happen because they said there wouldn't be any big surprise cameos. If there was going to be other surprise cameos, I would say, oh yeah, we'd get something like maybe Betty Ross comes back and it's Red She-Hulk. But I don't think we'll get that because they said there's not going to be any more cameos. Unless this freaking showrunner is literally trolling everyone this entire time and she had one more big surprise cameo that she was holding to the chest and they just didn't announce it or hype it up, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
because
honestly, we only seen 2 shots in this finale. Maybe
yeah.
3 shots because of the.
Wait, there's gonna be a lot of mystery to it. I definitely think there's gonna be a lot of mystery. I'm really hoping.
Again, you can't really put a lot in 35 minutes.
That's true, but we don't even know if that's confirmed. Like I told you, that's just rumored, but. It's gonna be It's gonna be a tough competition because this last Andor episode was 53 minutes, which was the longest of the shows so far. Good. So, and it was paced well and it was earned right. So like, we're really gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm excited for the finale. It'll be interesting to see that She-Hulk is done and we can sit down and look at all of She-Hulk overall and see if we think. Oh, we're talking about what we thought about episode 8, or are we scoring?
Yeah, I mean, since we're on the topic of She-Hulk, we might as well talk about episode 8.
Yeah, okay, so we haven't seen 9 yet, so we can't judge the finale yet, but we did watch episode 8 last week, and episode 8 was easily the best episode of the show because the show finally felt like a show. Like, you felt like
there was a real episode of the show.
Yep. Like, Daredevil was a bonus, but they actually had all the right comedy writing for the show. They had a storyline that was interesting. They were doing what I think people wanted to see She-Hulk do, which is defend comic book character like witnesses. Like that's what people I think. Yeah, I think that's the thing that's really annoying to me is the fact that this entire show, instead of doing the stupid fighting over someone that's trying to steal our name for a clothing label and whatever, we could have been fighting for something much greater. Like these people's lives. Like I would have been much more interested in seeing how a superhero lawyer deals with comic book characters struggling with their identities or stuff like that would have been more interesting, helping them with their problems. Don't make it about, oh, this villain of mine wants to use my name and steal it. Because the number one thing...
What the fuck cares about? Like, that's just a stupid concept.
What I hate about it is... What I hate about it, too, is the thing that's stupid, and the way that this storyline really fails for a lot of people, is now if they wanted to, I hope they don't do this, but now, unfortunately, they've opened Pandora's box where, oh, yeah, Spider-Man, oh, Peter Parker, oh, yeah, that's great, you know what, but you don't own the name Spider-Man, I'm going to take that from you, like, now that entire box is open that shouldn't have been opened, because that concept was not a good idea. That's my one gripe I will say so far, is that entire episode that happened was bad, but that specific concept sucks.
Yeah.
Did you die up here?
I did. I died too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like just overall this episode was episode 8 was definitely oh shit. Nope, I'm gone. Fuck. I didn't have any guns. There's nothing I could have done. Like, yeah. I was trying to. I came up here to go find you, thinking that you were going to be alone. But yeah, so like, this episode was great because not only did you get the Daredevil bonus, which was great, and how they introduced him was great, and how they used him, and it wasn't just like in No Way Home where he's there for one scene. We got so much of him in this episode, and it was so great. And
And it gave us kind of a taste of what he's gonna be like.
Yep.
Maybe not
Like,
exactly, but they're kind of getting used to like, hey, it could be like this, so don't like get mad. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm happy with what we got. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
if you compare Daredevil to the comics, because in the show they made him like a really gritty, almost kind of like Batman, but he really isn't always like that in the comics.
Exactly. No, and that's the thing.
Especially the OG comics. I mean, he does crack jokes when he can.
And I think the thing is, like, when he's facing off, like, when he's teaming up with heroes like She-Hulk and Spider-Man, he should have a much more lighthearted feel to him. So,
yeah.
so I definitely think that's
what we see in Spider-Man 4. I hope we get more Daredevil.
Yeah, I think everyone wants to see Spider-Man and Daredevil team up, and I think that's a perfect time to do that, especially now that we know that with all these projects being delayed, I think it's possible that they could be filling some things in the gaps that come before Secret Wars that we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they want to develop...
I mean, it was such a good episode just because it felt real, like I 100% bought it.
Yeah.
You had her defending someone that I mean, obviously was a goofball. You had it connected, like the whole thing connected to the story. And then you had Daredevil, who was kind of like, you know, that one-time appearance where he was just there to help her out. And it all wrapped up nicely in a bow tie. So.
Yeah, it was great. It was great how they handled it. Yeah, and then you had the ending setting up the finale, which I thought was a pretty great ending because I liked how the show played with the idea that we as fans, even we thought the episode was over because, you know, they made this perfect conclusion to the idea of, oh, look, you know, I got to do my thing with Matt Murdock. It was great. We had a great episode. Everything was cool. And then, well, oh wait, the finale's coming next week. So they gotta do the classic thing that you do with your hero when your hero gets too comfortable. You gotta take the floor out from underneath them and rip it up and make them trip.
Yep, that is bad.
What we call that in martial arts is we call it taking someone off their base. So if you go and someone is like, what do you say?
Really?
Yeah. So basically what happens is if somebody is holding a weapon and you need and they're completely like on guard of their weapon, so like a knife, when you get them in a wrist lock, the number one thing you need to do is you can't just break their arm there. You need to completely take them off their base, because otherwise they still have all their tools that they can use. Like, they can still swing the knife at you, they can still have access to their arms, they can still have access to their legs.
True.
If you take them off their bases, they can't do anything. So, yeah, so exactly. So just like, because she didn't know that, she didn't know that this guy had been, you know, taking videos and pictures of her, and also the fact that he was copying all her information.
Which, by the way, if you find a girl you like, don't do that, because it's really weird.
Well, I want to know, one of my biggest questions is, was this his only part in the show was to use her like this, and then we're never going to see him again? Because I know this is a stupid thing, because it would just be drama. I kind of want to see him again, and I kind of want to see She-Hulk just like... get the ultimate vengeance.
I want to see her she doesn't have to beat him up. All I want to do is see her bitch slap him across the room until he passes out or something.
And it'd be so funny for him to sit I want her to bitch smack him and then just be like, you were such a bad lay. Matt Murdock was so much better than you, and you're a piece of shit.
That
like,
was
just
actually hilarious, dude. She's like, yeah, that was,
yeah, no, I'm just really hoping that, I know they're going to do the Abomination stuff, but I think they're obviously going to set up Intelligentsia to be a continuous investigation throughout the MCU. Like, at least until Captain America 4, where things become more clear. But I hope that we do, because they built that finale, the setup for that finale at the end of the episode, so heavily into Intelligentsia wanting to get back at She-Hulk, for whatever their reason is for hating her. I just hope that they really lean into, like, we get a little taste of kind of what they've really been doing. Like, is this gonna go back to Incredible Hulk? Were you remember in the end of Incredible Hulk where you had hey King, you remember how they had Doctor not Doctor General Ross, rest in peace, was talking to Tony. So I don't know if you knew this, but that was meant to set up an Iron Man and Hulk movie eventually, which we never got, and it was going to be about Hulk and Iron Man tracking down Blonsky. Basically, he how do I say this? His DNA was cloned, and that there was going to be other abominations that they had to shut down. Now, I don't think the show would go with more abominations. I think they'd go with, why would you use She-Hulk's DNA if not to create more Hulk-like characters, right? Because now, the one thing I think is really interesting is, like, what's She-Hulk's friend or whatever mentioned the Red Hulk thing, and a lot of people are like, well, you know, it could just be a fun Easter egg, right? I definitely think that was intentional. I think we're going to see some sort of other Hulk character in the finale. Like, I don't know if it's going to be...
Either we could get Red Hulk, or Red She-Hulk, whatever, or...
It's going to be Red something. Like, it's going to be either Red Hulk or Red She-Hulk.
But I also see leaders too.
You think you'll see the leader? You think they'll do that?
I think there's a very high chance.
If we see the leader, that would be crazy.
Think about Loki. We were always like, oh, I mean, here's a possibility, but it's probably just going to be so. And then it was Jonathan Majors. Like,
that's true.
I mean, think about it. Wait, there's no, think
about it. Sure, crap. What were you saying, King?
Think about it. Think about just now. Remember when Jonathan Majors was confirmed as Kang?
Yep.
And then we didn't see him in anything, and then he appeared in Loki in a Marvel show before he did in his first movie, which hasn't even come out yet.
Yep.
It's the exact same thing.
Which is interesting that we bring that up, because I heard something...
They cast the same guy as the leader, announcing him to be in a future movie, and then they'll reveal him in an earlier show, which could be the finale. This could be a history repeating itself. I
mean, it could. I mean, think about it. We didn't expect, like... We didn't know Abomination was going to be in Shang-Chi until it just happened. Like there's that trailer that showed it, but that was still the hint that he was coming back. Like, there was no formally crazy announcement about him until that happened. Like, we didn't know when...
That too. They confirmed Emil was going to be in She-Hulk, and then he was in Shang-Chi.
Yep, so it's like, yeah, people didn't expect that. I think... Oh, that's awesome, King. Happy early birthday, buddy. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be interesting, because I do like the idea of the leader showing up again, because it gives it that push. And even with the movies being delayed, and you can add more things, think about this world, right? Imagine the world we live in, right? Loki came out this year, right? Or did it come out last year?
It came out last year, Joe.
Okay. I was just trying to remember, because I was trying my so. Oh, no worries, King. So imagine this: last year we got Kang teased in Loki, and that was the craziest thing ever. We get the leader at the end of She-Hulk setting up New World Order, crazy. Then we go to Wakanda Forever, and then fuck, we get Doom. Like, this all could go to some just insane places. Like, for one.
We know MODOK's gonna be part of intelligence.
Yeah, and they
already have ties with Kang, so it's all fitting together right now.
Exactly. So that's what I think is brilliant. And I was just talking to my friend the other day about just how I feel like these are the kind of villains that you would not even dream of giving redemption arcs. They would just be so bad. At least that's what I hope. I hope that Marvel doesn't try and do something stupid like give them some sort of redemption, but
we'll have some kind of. Because he'll probably be very angry at Emil Blonsky for causing him to like become the leader, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he can be angry at people, but I think the leader is one of those villains that's just a criminal mastermind, and he should stay a criminal mastermind. Yeah. I don't want any new twist where it's like, oh, She-Hulk, you helped me deal with Abomination. I'm so happy.
Kind of like Kingpin, where he does what he does for a reason, But
Yeah.
he's just a ruthless bastard. Like,
And that's what I want. I want more. The MCU needs that right now because after Thanos, nobody is that. And Thanos had redemption still. Like, even though he wasn't. Not saying Thanos was bad, but.
And there's nothing wrong with redemption, but it's becoming a big pattern. Like, I feel like after Gore, we're finally getting sick of it.
I'm getting sick of it because I honestly don't think. This is a hot take, but honestly, I wish Gore wasn't a redemption character. I wish that they would have just made Gore. I knew they were gonna do it, but I just wish they wouldn't have because they took a character that was Thor doesn't right now in the Thor universe. Shit, why are we just getting destroyed?
I don't know, man.
Like the thing that pisses me off is like with Gore, he was something of a what shit gotten destroyed. Like with Gore, the crazy thing was I think like they took all Thor's villains and like with Loki they redeemed him. I understood it. I get it. They want Loki to have show different variants, whatever they need to do. I get it. But his other villains that they could use and do very effectively and make interesting, they all wasted. They ruined Malekith. I mean, they just. I mean, they're finally going to do Hercules, but at what cost? They have no. They did Hela, but we don't know if she'll ever come back. Like, and Hela was done fairly decent. At least she didn't get a redemption arc, which I liked. I liked that she was just ruthless. That was how she should have stayed.
I think the thing is for me is that not every villain needs. Like, I'm okay if here and there we get a redemptive villain, but you don't have to make a villain completely evil, like just take over the world kind of evil. But give them a reason for doing something. Give them like a cause, like a why, and then give them like a how, and then from there you want to mold your villain into like a Doctor Doom type or something.
Well, I just feel like
you don't always need like a a soft like, oh, I really feel bad for this one. Like Killmonger, he was like, he wasn't really redemptive, but he had a point, so we could agree with him. But like at the end of the day, he still killed people. He still did.
That's what I'm saying. Is like they could, you can have a character that has like. He has a purpose, and maybe you'll agree with this purpose, maybe you'll resonate with it, maybe you won't. But that's better than saying, "Whoa, what was me? I'm a villain, but I have this."
Like, he's good now because he realized the errors of his ways. It's like,
yeah, he changes his tune. That's not the message that we need to have, because if they keep turning villains anti-hero or good, we won't have any villains to fight, and therefore there's no reason for Avengers, and there's no reason for anything. So that's why sometimes we need real bad guys that, for instance, like, and I said this about Cobra Kai too, as much as I love Cobra Kai and as much as I love the first 3 seasons of Cobra Kai, when Johnny became a good guy, and when it was just Kreese, I was like, okay, if Johnny and Daniel team up against just Kreese, there's no way that that's going to be enough to fill more seasons. You know, because Kreese was a small inkling of like, yeah, he had the students, but like, these are 2 of the most, if Johnny has his own dojo and Miyagi-Do's already getting bigger, like, how are they going to even be able to like, because that's the thing with Kreese. Kreese was very much like, he was a threat, but he wasn't like a big enough threat where like, but if you go to season 5 and you look at how long it took them to bring down Silver. Silver had a master plan and entire operations that made him so difficult just to get him taken out. Kreese, when they need,
yeah, that's true.
With Kreese, like the first time they even tried to fight Kreese, they succeed. So there would have been no push from that, you know, like. If Sam and Miguel didn't show up at the dojo, Daniel probably would have killed Kreese, because he wanted to. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in that moment. He wanted to do it because he's been sick of this guy for years, and he wanted to put an end to that. And so I think that's the thing with these villains and stuff. You can have a purpose, but you need it to be. You also need people sometimes to just be assholes and stay evil, at least for a threat purpose. Like maybe they can turn maybe there can be some qualities, and maybe you'll have some things. Oh yeah, you'll agree with some things, but honestly, the most accurate. I hate to be this guy, but something I've been thinking about a lot lately is the only true Marvel character that has ever that's considered good guy / anti-hero that has had the entire the way that the world works in the MCU completely right. The only good point so far in Marvel in general has been from the Punisher, because if you think about the Punisher's logic, even just in the comics, right?
He is an anti-hero, but he's not fully.
But still, just even as an anti-hero, he knows that there's so many shitbags out here that need to be put out of their misery. And that's because he's seen the worst people.
It's the debate that always comes up, and I've always asked my friends, the people who watch Daredevil, and they know this is like one of my favorite. It was honestly one of my favorite scenes in the show. That conversation between Frank and Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, are you a Daredevil person or are you a Punisher person?
I'm a Punisher person. I'm full Punisher. I mean,
you think they should get punished for what they do? Like they should get hurt and locked away?
Yeah.
But they still should they still have this person has the ability to try again, or just wipe them out completely so it never ever happens for sure ever again?
I personally go with the Punisher angle of just wipe them out completely, because they're only going to become, because sometimes these things obviously you could believe in second chances, but sometimes in a world like this, in a world from Punisher's view, you see these people that have just look at Billy Russo, right? That was a guy that was Punisher's best friend, and the shit that he did, there was no way that Frank was going to ever consider giving him any form of second chance after what he did.
Oh, of course.
And if the world is full of people like that, why give anyone second chances? If those people did what they did, and that's what they did. So, and they made a choice. It all comes down to making a choice. And that choice they made was clearly wrong. And they got to pay for that, because the choice that they made was just not the right one. It's just, I mean, I think Punisher had it right. He was totally wanted to get these guys out. Because he knew how much it's
a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
And then you take into consideration, I mean, obviously, Matt Murdock wouldn't allow that because he really works in the law division.
Right.
Do people deserve a second chance? Are they guilty? Are they not? And if they are, does jail time justify what happened? And if they get let out, are they going to go back to doing it again? I mean, you never know. The story is different for everybody, so
yeah,
that's the difficult part. Is maybe this person is a good person, but if you kill them, then it's too late. But you never know. So it's a very interesting topic.
It is definitely. There's definitely two sides to that coin, and you just kind of decide what you think is the right answer for it, I guess would be the best word.
You want to start on the other topics now?
Yeah, we can start. So we got She-Hulk. Yeah, so I think those are the important things to really get into. Okay, the next one we got to talk about is the DC stuff, because that's going to be pretty lengthy, I think. So let's talk about. I mean, I would say the number one thing to talk about this, and we could probably have this last the entire time, just because I think the really only one thing to discuss was we're going to talk about the Black Adam stuff, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So, as you guys know, we've been hearing for a while now that The Rock has been teasing that he's gonna do something to get Henry Cavill in his movie and tease some sort of future project, because the fans have spoken. They have been crying out for a Black Adam versus Superman showdown. And The Rock cares so much about the fans, and as a fan himself, I can tell, he wanted this to happen himself. And so he kind of made some moves. But what's cool about this is, so we're going to talk about something that's pretty interesting. So we kind of have a hint on what kind of end credit scene to expect from Black Adam that could tease the future. So you guys know how in the trailer marketing Amanda Waller is going to be in this movie? Well, she might not be the only person a part of Argus being involved in this movie, because we're also hearing that Hardcore is also going to be in this movie. And I personally love the fact that Hardcore could show up, because I don't know, there's something about that character that just, I don't know, I really like that character. Peacemaker made me a really big fan of that character, and I don't know why, but something about her just really stands out to me. I don't know if it's like, it's just a matter of like DC doesn't have, outside of like the normal trained characters like a Black Canary, but she has her sonic screen stuff, or like just something about a character that's completely normal in like with not having powers, but being just a total badass and fighting for what she believes in is great. And I think that's cool. And I think what's also interesting is Hardcore and Amanda Waller have different feelings on things. So it's very interesting to see how they're going to interact, because of their last, depending on where this is in the timeline and if they know about the previous endeavors, right? If this is after what happened in Peacemaker, is Amanda Waller on good terms with that specific team? Like, or is this her way of, or did she drag Hardcore into this because she wants to punish her for turning her back on her, on her mission? Like, it really just depends what they do with that concept and how they use it. So I think that's going to be really interesting, but I think the biggest piece of information is obviously, so what I'm hearing right now is the end credit scene is probably going to be, you have Amanda Waller talking to Black Adam. So clearly, during this movie, Black Adam and Amanda Waller come to some sort of understanding. That they have something in Amanda Waller's plan calls for Black Adam. Like, whatever she's doing in Black Adam, it requires that specific character for whatever reason. I don't know if she just sees him like...
Why else would she send the JSA,
right? Right, yeah, exactly. So it definitely seems like...
obviously sending the JSA to do something with Black Adam. I don't know the details yet, obviously. But they needed him to obviously come with them. That's why
yeah, and the vibe of the trailer is it's an...
Yeah. We already know why. If you've seen the first Suicide Squad movie, you know why they want to see this.
Do you think she wanted to try and recruit him to a new Suicide Squad? What do you think because I feel like...
I think Suicide Squad. I think, you know why? Because everyone on the Suicide Squad team kind of broke.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is like, so...
She didn't have a Suicide Squad.
So do you think she wanted a one-man army so she could just use Black... That's interesting.
All these other losers aren't going to listen to her, and her whole team is going to go against her. She's going to recruit. She's going to ask a certain team who can bring in this kind of guy, and she's going to manipulate him into doing her dirty little thing.
And what's interesting about that is...
the Man of Steel.
What's interesting is Amanda Waller does not seem like the type of person that would shake and crumble when someone threatens, oh, you die, I'm coming for you. Like, she does not seem like the type of person that would shake and crumble in fear of a certain situation. But I think whether we argue whether it's canon or not, right? Bruce Wayne scared the shit out of Amanda Waller in that end credit scene in the original Suicide Squad movie.
Oh yeah, that's canon.
I think that she completely was shooken up by that. Oh shit, this guy's still in here. Alright, crap.
She was shooketh.
Why the fuck do I have to reload when that bitch... That's fucking stupid. I was trying to switch, and then fucking she just pissed me off. But yeah, the point is, I can see... And maybe there's some deleted scene on the cutting floor, right, where they have a deeper conversation, her and Bruce Wayne. And maybe Bruce said something along the lines of, like, like, not only am I coming for you, but my best, like, teammate, like, the person I work side by side with to bring you guys down is Superman. And And I think she went because, you know, if you watch that Suicide Squad movie, she talks about the dangers of Superman being evil, right? And what do you say? Oh, to fix it? Okay, no worries. I can do that. Yeah, let me try. Okay, make you party leader. There you go. Yeah, like, I promoted you. You're good.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it in the comics. Black Adam was able to go toe-to-toe with all of them under the Justice League. So,
well, yeah, I just think...
I mean, Waller's never been good, but she's definitely...
Oh, she's always been bad. I just think it's interesting, like, that she would be smart enough to know that she could manipulate someone as powerful as Black Adam. Because that's what I think. Because that's going to be a mistake of hers, too, because Black Adam will only use her until it's necessary to him. Like his whole thing is probably going to be, oh, yeah, you'll let me rule and leave me be as long as I do what you want. Like, yeah. But I don't think he's also going to...
I mean, she knows how to manipulate people. That's right. She's like, oh, you can have all these wonderful things. You want to go ahead and kill people? Go ahead and kill people. I don't really care. I thought it was working. I feel like they're both, you know, pretty much the same person.
But I also feel like he's gonna get annoyed that she's yanking on his chain. Like she might be.
That's true.
She might be like, yeah.
She's got the leash on him. He doesn't like that. So.
Yeah, he might have to do something about that. Yeah, but I
feel like Waller's been asking for it. She has it coming to her. I'm sure she doesn't have it coming to her. So we just don't know when it's gonna happen.
I really hope that if it's true that we get.
Somehow she seems to get out of everything.
Hey, I really hope that if they do tease that Superman is really in here and we actually see Henry Cavill, like, I really hope that, like, when he comes down and talks to Black Adam, they tease that, you know, maybe he, like, looks at her and goes, you do realize that if you keep this shit up, I will burn your entire world down. Like I'm just going to hurt you because you're a problem to me. Like, I think it's about time Superman, especially with the darker nature of what they've done with Henry Cavill's Superman, I think he needs to put the fear of God into certain people that are a threat to not only him, but, you know, Superman's supposed to protect the entire planet, and if the planet's in danger, then something needs to be done about it. Like...
I totally agree, man. I mean, it's a public.
Oh, you mean public? Yeah.
I totally agree. I mean, that's what I think. That's kind of what I mean. Like what The Rock said. That's what it's all about. That's what the purpose of the whole movie is to give us that moment. I mean, we know it's going to happen eventually, but it's just a matter of time when. And
I just can't wait to sit in the theater with that when that does happen. Like when that does happen, sitting in the theater with people like that is going to be crazy because you're just like.
Yeah. Be insane. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a cool reaction for us to or whenever we screen it.
Well, yeah, we're gonna watch it as early as possible. So yeah, yeah, I'll be excited, especially because I heard he's supposed to have an updated suit, but it's gonna be like I think it's supposed to be it's like the Man of Steel suit and the Batman vs Superman suit, but it's brighter blue. So it sounds like it's not gonna be the.
Gonna be like a crossover or like an X or something.
Yeah, from what I heard was a lot of people.
He's gonna have a mullet too.
Yeah, of course the Snyder people were pissed because he's not gonna be wearing the black suit that he was in the Snyder.
We don't know how much time
cut.
Passed though, so that's fair because
yeah, and they kind of established at the end of that movie that he was. Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like on with the way that they're going, it makes sense that he would go back to the way that he's meant to be as Superman.
Yeah.
Because the whole black suit Superman was really just to recharge his powers. So it wasn't even a big like thing. It was more about this is kind of recharging me and getting me ready for what I need to do. So I think that's where that comes from.
He probably feels like himself when he has to down.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm excited. I am excited though. It's interesting to see. I didn't expect hardcore to be in the movie. I mean, That kind of, I would say that honestly took me by surprise more than anything because I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of random. I mean, we know Amelia and her don't like. They obviously don't. They've had beef or something.
I'm curious because the end of the Suicide Squad movie really already established that Waller wanted to punish the team, but like at the end of everything that went on in the Suicide Squad, I mean,
from what we know from the shot that we've seen this hardcore, she's with the JSA. She's not near Waller. So I think hardcore is gonna be telling the JSA, hey guys, Waller's bad news. I don't think you guys should be taking commands from her.
so you think they're gonna change her? Like, so you think they'll change? She'll try and convince them to.
Like, I think she's there to get them to avoid Waller.
Do you think there might be like?
She obviously didn't like Waller.
Do you think this will be after like? Do you think this is gonna be after the first season of Peacemaker? So you think they might Do you think they might tease like maybe they'll say something like maybe she'll be like, oh Christopher is out doing this or something, like do you think they'll mention him? Yeah, that was his name. You know, Peacemaker's name was Chris.
Oh, Chris. Oh, yeah.
Like, depending on when this is, I could.
I don't know if they would mention him because then that kind of takes you out of the story. It's like.
But here's the thing. I think the thing we have to remember though is that they're trying to build their universe, right? They want to hear these connect. That's what Marvel's done so well. Is like so.
Peacemaker's more out there. It's like mentioning. What's it like? It's like mentioning. I'm trying to think really quick. It's like mentioning She-Hulk and like. Well, it's a bad example because they're all goofy. I'm trying to think of like something really, really stupid. It's like mentioning. I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. It feels out of place. It's because it's like Peacemaker is supposed to be like this fun, kind of silly, stupid show. It's got a lot of heart to it, but then you're mentioning him in Black Adam, where this guy is. It's more dark and serious.
But there's some pretty dark and serious parts of Peacemaker, so.
Like, why are they mentioning Peacemaker? It's like to what end?
I just think because that character is associated with him, I think it would be. It would be kind of one of those things that just. What you didn't expect that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
My prediction, probably not.
Right.
But we'll see. Could be mentioned, but I don't think she would mention him just because they're kind of doing their own thing, and we don't. I mean, Peacemaker season 2 is not that far off, so. Where did you get that?
By killing your ass.
Holy crap!
It's a good fucking sniper.
But yeah, I'm excited for Black Adam. I think it's definitely becoming one of my more anticipated movies.
Yeah.
I feel like everything that's kind of left. There's not much else to compare it to, but it looks like a decent movie. I don't know if it's gonna be the greatest movie ever. I don't know, I'm expecting it to, but visually it looks like a really epic movie.
I think it has the good. Just
this is Dwayne's child. He's been taking really good care of this movie.
I mean,
so
just looking at the. I think just looking at the fact that like. DC, despite all the stuff that they've done with their CEO and everything, these newer movies that they've really poured their heart and souls out with these really good directors and everything, I think they really.
I would say that DC hasn't missed this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is they like there's been decisions that were irritating, but in terms of the actual content that they've provided, like I think even with the other things on HBO Max, DC is the reason that HBO Max has become as successful as it is right now, because it's half the content they put out is for HBO Max, and it's brilliant. Like Peacemaker was great. You have Batman on there now, and then Harley Quinn's great, and then you have Titan. Dude, Titans is just like, man, I cannot believe.
I respect Titans. I gotta watch the rest of it. For me, Doom Patrol does it for me, man.
I like Doom Patrol a lot. I think for me, my biggest thing with Doom Patrol, it's not a gripe against Doom Patrol. It's just, I think the thing I love about Titans is Doom Patrol is like, and they're both, you both love them for different reasons, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Doom Patrol is like a show you can come on, you can knock a couple beers back and have a fun time, you know? And with Titans, I'm invested in all the characters, and I grew up with the Teen Titans, so like getting to see these characters, but getting to see them done when it's not on Cartoon Network, seeing the darker justice being done for them is amazing. Like,
and I remember back when Titans first came out, and people were making fun of the show because, like, oh, look at Robin, he's trying to be all emo and gritty. He says fuck Batman, and when he said fuck Batman, everyone kind of made fun of him for saying that.
And I told people when that clip came out, I said I was so excited for that show, and I said we need to know the context of this, because I knew from the original Teen Titans cartoon and from the comics that Batman and Nightwing had issues.
Yeah.
So like I was like, yeah, okay, this makes sense. Like him being pissed about that, like it totally works. And I think what's great about the show is just they not only have a really good team of Teen Titans, but they also aren't just using the Titans that we know from the cartoons. There's other Teen Titans from the comics that they brought in there that I think is really interesting. Like they're using characters that you wouldn't expect. And then the villains they do, the things they've done with villains. Not every villain on the show that they've done what I've thought as a Teen Titans villain would happen. Like the first season, they kind of centered around Trigon and used it in a pretty interesting way. And then, how far did you get? What season were you on?
How many seasons has been been?
The last three so far, because 4 comes out next month.
Yeah, I think I'm halfway through 2.
Okay, so you know about Deathstroke then. Okay. Yeah, so the fact that they did that, and that was awesome, and I love that version of Deathstroke. I think what they've done with that Deathstroke is really good. Like, it's really good. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that's pretty cool.
Like Slade's definitely a character you want to put in the show.
Oh, of course, especially with him and Dick Grayson having their problems, especially with the Teen Titans cartoons and everything, and just yeah, it's one of those things that I think both those shows are great, but I think with Titans, I think the cool thing about Titans is Titans kind of is DC's, like, it kind of feels like the Daredevil thing just for HBO Max instead of Netflix, because they're able to push the boundaries, but so here's the thing, not just, so what I mean is not like they're comparable as shows, but like just as grittier kind of level stuff. Like I'm not saying like it's because I would compare the same shows, I'm just talking about the tones of the shows and the content that they provide, right? Because like, so here's the thing with
grittiness. I agree with the grittiness. I think
yeah, that's what I was going for, was the gritty. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was going for, yeah.
It feels more like Jessica Jones than Daredevil. Because Daredevil wasn't like super gritty. It took itself seriously. Where Jessica Jones, like, you kind of knew that it was supposed to be. It worked with what it was.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was purposely gritty. Like Daredevil's like, I mean, not unintentionally gritty, but it's like we know Jessica Jones has this like complete like, you know, she has this kind of attitude towards her. And I feel like the characters from Titans have the same kind of attitude.
That's true.
Like, oh fuck, this is like.
But Titans is also a show that you'll learn that things will change as the seasons go on. Like the characters and how the roster and everything changes. Everything with the show, it gets different, and that's how it kind of has that darker Avengers feel where you feel like you know something's gonna happen. And it just works out, and it's really good. Like,
yeah, I agree, man.
Like, I think my thing with Doom Patrol is like, Doom Patrol is a great show, but I can't always take it seriously. Like, because there's a lot of.
It's not supposed to be taken seriously. I mean,
no, exactly. That's the thing. That's why both shows. That's why I don't want to compare.
Doom Patrol is that they're all just like very diverse.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of like. When you learn more about them, they're all like down to earth. Like, you can get yourself in their position. You're like damn, like.
I think for me, my biggest thing with Doom Patrol is like, with Doom Patrol, I don't know, like outside of Cyborg, I don't know those characters as much as I know the Teen Titans storyline. So or like the character, yeah.
Because they're introducing these new what I was saying, diverse like these characters that not a lot of people have heard of before.
Right, exactly. Oh yeah, I agree.
We know these characters from my childhood. Like we get familiar with this, but I'm glad DC is pushing characters that
Yeah,
we've never seen.
I think what I liked is just like, because when you there's a difference between, I think the thing that's interesting is if you look at like we haven't seen the Titans properly in live action until Titans happened, and being able to like see the characters that we like, if you whether it's the Teen Titans cartoons, some of the animated movies they've made featuring the Teen Titans, or just what you know of them from the comics, right?
Yeah.
To see the Titans brought to any form of live action and done the justice that they've done. Like what I love about Titans is it's a cross between a darker Teen Titans, and then it's also got a little bit of Young Justice in it because of the fact that they brought in Superboy. Yeah, and they're older, and yeah. And I think they do that really well. And I think that's really cool. Like, I like the vibe of that, like... And it's cool because each season kind of, like, has its own theme, and, like, it continues the story, but they add new characters to the show that you would think, like, it's not just them tacking characters that they don't know what to do with. They have a good purpose for them, which is really cool. And, like, they'll bring new characters in, but it will be for a good purpose, and they'll use them in ways that you would want your characters to be used.
Yeah, for sure. I mean...
Like, I never would have thought I never would have thought, like, in Season 3 that one of the big things is, like, that Scarecrow is one of the villains in Season 3. Like, for Batman... Did you not know that? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that... I thought they announced that, like, because I'm pretty sure they announced it. Yeah.
I know everything about it.
I'm not gonna... Yeah, Scarecrow is in it, and then the Red Hood stuff is pretty good. Like, it was nice to... I'm not gonna tell you about it, but... Yeah, no, I'm not gonna tell you the storyline. But just knowing... If you played Batman, Arkham Knight, right? You played that game?
Gotham Knights.
Oh, you played what?
Gotham Knights.
That one's not out yet. Oh, I see what you're doing. That's funny.
No, yeah, I played Arkham Knight. I played all the Arkham. I love the Arkham.
Yeah, because that idea from Arkham Knight, with Scarecrow and kind of remember did you beat Arkham Knight?
Yeah, I
did.
did.
Okay, so you knew about the whole Red Hood being the Arkham Knight? Okay. Cool. Why are you doing... Yeah, because the whole thing I think is interesting is... Oh, there we go, I got you.
Shit.
Yeah, their whole thing is really interesting. Yeah, Titans is great. Definitely recommend Titans. I like Doom Patrol. I want to watch more Doom Patrol. It's cool.
Recommend Titans. I recommend Doom Patrol. But definitely watch both at some point.
Yeah, I recommend both shows because I've seen enough of Doom Patrol to say it's a great show. I mean, I definitely do like it.
Yeah.
I mean...
I think that's all for DC, right?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't think we had anything else. Yeah, it was pretty awesome, yeah. The Lex Luthor stuff, I'm thinking this Lex Luthor is going to be pretty terrifying. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, he looks awesome, dude. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here for it. I think it looks pretty cool. Was there any other major topics that we had?
Not for DC.
Anything? What was the other ones we were going to do for Marvel? I'm trying to remember. There's a... Yeah, I'm just trying to think what the other ones I'm trying to remember what else I had, because we talked about... We covered a lot of them through...
The huge thing about Marvel that just came out.
Oh yeah, we kind of should talk about the delays, I guess. So...
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
So... I have mixed feelings, because... On the one hand, this is a great thing because I don't trust Marvel's CGI department right now. So I'm hoping that the time gives them able to work on things, because if the price of this delay is that we get to see a Kang that looks amazing, then it was worth it, you know? Like,
yeah.
or like the prices to make the budgeting better, we get to see the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and the Avengers team up against Doom and Secret Wars. Like, things like that.
I like how you're already predicting it's going to be a movie. Like
well, I'm not predicting, I'm just saying of like hypothetical, like comic, like big expenses things that could, that would be things that would be reasons for some of these delays, right?
Yeah.
And with like, I think the biggest thing is there's a couple of delays, a couple of movies that have problems with being delayed because I don't understand the reasons behind them. Like, I kind of get Secret Wars because of the fact that it's Secret Wars and they want it to be perfect. You know? And Blade I get because they need a new director and to oh, they get a new director already?
No, I'm saying I get why. I was saying Blade's getting delayed because it's already having some issues.
Yeah, they're having big issues. I don't know what's going on with Deadpool 3. Maybe this
weird, we had a confirmed date too,
so something must have happened. There must be something. Maybe they need to work on the script more. I wonder if they're trying to reach out to more actors. Maybe it's a matter of they need more time. Like,
that's what I'm thinking. I think there's something actor scheduling.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's probably something like that. Like, I don't think it's a. Ryan Reynolds is a pretty smart guy. I don't imagine it's a script issue. Like, I'm not thinking it's gonna be a. Oh, the script's not perfect.
We've already gone through that. They went through several writers and directors, and they're still trying to figure out.
Well, that's my problem. The fact I kind of saw Fantastic Four coming because we went to D23 and we didn't have a cast announcement.
Yeah.
I knew something funky was going on when there was no cast announced. Like, when they didn't announce that, that's when I thought that it was weird. I guess the number one thing is, like, it's going to depend what takes these things places in that space now. Like, what's coming instead is going to be interesting.
Was King Nasty delayed too, or was it just Secret Wars?
I know about Secret Wars. I'm not sure about Dynasty. I'll have to check on that.
Okay, so it was just
yeah.
The thing is with me is that as more films get delayed, it also kind of opens up the window for them more. They can fit in more. I don't expect them to fit in more movies, but possibly TV shows.
True.
Or specials. So.
Well, remember, now that Armor Wars isn't a TV show, they have that slot available now too, which is pretty interesting. I'm super intrigued to see what they're gonna fill with that, because I have no idea what they'll do. Like, it could be anything. What do you say?
What do you think they will do?
It's hard to say, because I don't know what else was on the table that they announced. Like, what's ready to go in that time frame, because we know. Let's think. What do we know? I guess if Wonder Man's ready, maybe, but I don't think so. I mean,
about the specials, they're
gonna do more of them, yeah.
They're gonna make a special for Wakanda and Dora Milaje. They're gonna make one for the Ten Rings and Jia Lang, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I mean, with the quality of Werewolf by Night, I think the specials are a great idea, because I'd rather have, if they can put it together in a 50-some minute thing and condense it, and not have these spread 6 episode shows that just don't really go anywhere.
6 minute shows.
Yeah, that'd be weird. I know. Like, I don't know. I just feel like condensing it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even shows. We've been all calling them like shows, but they're not. You know,
right, that's what I'm saying. Like I think Werewolf by Night.
We don't want to call them shows. We literally aren't supposed to call them shows. They're actually they're mini-series.
Yeah.
They're called. They're not really called shows.
And I think if Werewolf by Night has taught us anything, I think I would rather see more of these specials. Like, I'm not gonna lie. After Werewolf by Night, one thing I've thought about is I've been watching a lot of people talk about, especially Marvel content creators. They've been talking about how important Guardians holiday special is going to be. And, like, a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, it's going to be just one of those Disney cash grab holiday thingies, right? But I'm hearing it's going to be very important to Guardians 3. Like, very important.
I've heard the same thing too.
So it's nice that these specials are not just being treated as cash cows, that it could actually go very good places. Like, I think that's cool, and it'll be interesting to see how often they do these specials and what their purpose is. Like, I love that I just charged up. Like, I'm excited to see where they go with that. Like, what's the purpose for it?
I think Guardians right now, Guardians Holiday Special, like even before it's already out, it's already underrated. No one really is caring about it right now. Like no one's, but like think of like we're gonna see them. I mean, it's definitely gonna mean something. Like it's not just gonna be, oh, they're like celebrating Christmas. Like it's definitely gonna have something to do with the next Guardians movie at least. So
yeah, totally. Yeah, I could.
Don't we want to see Star-Lord embrace the whole Christmas thing to all of like, you know? I can already hear Rocket really making fun of him for all this Christmas stuff. I mean, obviously the Guardians are completely oblivious to what.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool.
I agree. I agree completely that could definitely be pretty cool.
But yeah, Marvel right now they're on track to do some pretty good stuff, especially after Werewolf by Night. Did we talk about that? Did we talk about that on the podcast?
We did not, but we can talk about it because we have time.
We can talk about it a little bit because we've already gone over it. There's not a lot of stuff to say about it, but
yeah.
I mean, what Werewolf by Night has done for Marvel is like kind of almost, I dare to say revolutionary, because it's able to fit in so much in not a too short amount of time, but like a perfect amount of time.
And I think it proves that these specials just can, yeah.
It sets up a ton of stuff for the future. It sets up supernatural stuff.
Yeah, of course.
It sets up Midnight Suns because it introduces us to Bloodstone. It sets up Man-Thing to do like, you know, the whole Nexus of reality thing. So I really appreciate the specials, and I hope the specials we get more of them as we move forward.
I completely agree. I think we need more. So getting more is definitely a huge bonus. And I think letting them just crush that is
You okay, Joe?
Is very important. Like I just think that getting to do that is a very good thing. Like the fact that they were able to establish what that was, I think is awesome. Like, and the fact that you care about these new characters and are interested in the whole thing is freaking awesome. Like, yeah, I love it.
I mean,
I thought the CGI looked good. I thought that the action was good. Like, it looks very good.
That Man-Thing was not CGI. I thought it was completely practical.
And that shows just how good they made him look, which is great.
And do have when they take time and do their stuff, they can get shit.
Yeah, and when you see someone that's not, when you see something that like when you can tell CGI actually looks good, that's when you know something is good. Like that's what I think is very important.
That's when you know it's like, okay, this is freaking meant.
I'd like to know how long it took them to work on that. Shit. Yeah.
A typical filming, like a whole film takes anywhere from 3 to 4 months, maybe more. 5, 6, 7 is kind of pushing it. So I would say they got that probably done in like a month or 2. Month and a half, maybe that's my guess. Shit. Oh shit, Joe. Oh, I can build now. Oh, I got one stroke. Oh, Joe, calm down, man. Is there anything else on Star Wars?
I mean, I guess we could kind of talk about we could briefly talk about the fact that there's rumors about the Thrawn actor.
Well, yeah, Thrawn makes.
We knew he was gonna be in the Ahsoka show, but now it might be the same person from Rebels, which is interesting.
I never seen him in real life. Does he look for it? Like, does he look like Thrawn? He could be Thrawn.
I've never really seen him in real life either. I'd assume he might look somewhat like him. I mean, I think the biggest thing obviously is gonna be how much you have to pay a guy to put on blue makeup. Yeah. Because I heard that they were asking I heard they wanted bigger actors for it, and they asked a couple of them like if they were interested in the role.
Because Thrawn really isn't a big guy, is he?
No, but what I think is interesting is I heard they asked oh, you mean like big in terms of like the Star Wars story? Or like you mean big like as a hulking?
I thought you meant like physically big.
No. They mean like big actors, like as in like I heard Benedict Cumberbatch made some comments on the character about like not wanting to paint his face blue and all these other things.
Wait, didn't you say you wanted I don't know if it was you or I forget who said it, but someone said they wanted RDJ as Thrawn.
It was a rumor. It was a rumor that people wanted to see happen. It would have been interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen RDJ express interest in Star Wars. I mean, I get people think, well, he did Marvel, so why wouldn't he do Star Wars? But
I think Christian Bale could nail Thrawn.
He'd be a good Thrawn. Well, he is in talks for a Star Wars role that he wants, so maybe they'll flip that. Maybe they'll go, oh, let's make him Thrawn. Like,
that's true. I mean, he did say he wanted to be in the Star Wars universe.
Be interesting.
I
don't know. I just can't imagine him after him playing Batman. It's hard to imagine him not being a Sith character or a Jedi character because of the sword training he went into for Batman Begins. He strikes me as the type.
I mean, I feel like he kind of works better as a more militarized kind of commander than he does really with like a Jedi or a Sith.
That's fair.
I don't know. For me, Christian Bale doesn't feel like either. To me, he feels more like. He works better as a Thrawn, in my opinion.
That's fair.
But I get what people want him to be, like a Jedi or Sith. I mean, it's Christian Bale. You obviously don't put that away.
I mean, Thrawn is a huge character, and I think he could do justice to Thrawn, especially because Thrawn, what a lot of people don't know about Thrawn is that not only is Thrawn smart, but Thrawn is like a incredible hand-to-hand combat technician. Like, what did you say?
Stop breaking my bills down.
If I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do what I want.
Build, Joe. Build. Learn to build.
I know how to build. I refuse to build.
Build. I'm gonna force you to build.
Oh wait, I have a gun that can break through this. I have to have one.
Never go. He's gonna build. We're gonna build and we're gonna like it.
What do I have that can break that?
Build, Joel. You have to break it. Just build.
So you want me to be able to distract me?
Exactly. That's how it works. Oh man. Yeah, but I mean, I get everyone wants Christian to either be Sith or Jedi, but I don't know. I think he worked really good Thrawn to me. But you know, whoever they get, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it will all work out. Whatever they come up with.
Yeah. It'll be a good choice. I mean, who's behind the second one? When he coming back, is he doing something?
Yeah, it's all his baby. It's his project.
It is? Okay, good. Yeah. So, I mean, so obviously this one, yeah, we know we have something.
Oh, of course. Damn it. Oh, that works. Too good. Yeah, no, I think after we get done with this battle, I think we're pretty much wrapped, because I can't think of anything else that I had on my list.
Yeah, I think we did.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did. We talked about 2 series. I think there wasn't any other nominees, right? Like,
No, not that I'm aware of. Not that I can think of.
DC, we talked about Black Adam Titans. That was like
The big peak. Yeah, that was the biggest announcement I think all week, is that...
I think the biggest announcement of all was we know we're going to Superman.
Yeah.
So, I kind of like, this might be kind of hard for Superman and Black Adam, because he's kind of returning the favor for Black Adam appearing in the Superman movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's great, yeah.
Black Adam made a cameo. So Superman made a cameo with Black Adam. It's kind of funny. I don't know if they probably did that, but do you think they did that on purpose?
Totally. I think they definitely did. I think that movie totally laid the groundwork to do a Superman, and... You can't run from me. I love that the machine gun actually gets that thing down faster. You don't like me to play Fortnite like the people that you play against? Yes.
Oh my God.
Was you don't know how to move around like that? Really? Oh dang, now he does it. Now he does it. How long does this round go? You're not getting that shield. Dang it! You saw it through my trick. I was pulling an old sparring technique where you don't, if you don't want to get hit the same way, you don't stay the same distance. You used to keep. What about $10?
Wait a second. Don't stop using the same gun.
Hell no. You just don't like that I'm using a gun that allows me to just destroy you. It's not cheating. We have our guns we like, and that's what happens. When you build, I use my gun that destroys building. Solution solved. Now I'm using a different gun, but I don't know if it will last. Yeah, I was waiting for his questions. He must be tired. I'll have to harass him.
You're literally...
I'm using a different gun. I'm using the MK this time. Shit. See, I wasn't even using the same gun. I changed. Should be a fun time. I'm excited to see what everyone thinks about it. I'm excited to see if it actually truly ends.
I think people are underestimating this movie right now. I actually think there's going to be something to it. I think it's going to be more than just like another Halloween movie. I feel like there's got to be something.
Well, I think they're gonna kill Jamie Lee Curtis's character. So.
You think so? I don't know.
Because remember what she said in the last movie. He'll keep hunting them until, because she's still in that town, because she's still out there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. If she doesn't die, Michael just keeps coming back.
She gets him first.
I think they have to kill each other. I think they have to do it like, I think they both need to die for one of them to die.
The thing is, like, what is she gonna do to kill him? Like, cut off his head?
I mean, what if she blows herself up with a grenade and he's in the same room? Would they both die, or would they?
He's clearly immune to killing.
But he wants to kill her so bad, right? I mean, if their two are in the same room, what hurts him should hurt her. Got him.
Stop using the same gun, Joe.
I changed the gun. I used the last gun last time. Now I changed back.
You're using the same exact method. Spam, spam, spam.
No, I'm using different assault rifles. There's no spamming.
Assault rifle?
The last gun I used was an assault rifle. I only have one SMG. See, that time I used my assault rifle. Sometimes it's an SMG, sometimes it's an assault rifle. Could be a matter of anything.
You're totally making this up, man.
You don't believe that I didn't use the... I see it. Okay.
Thanks to me, boy. I'm too fast to do.
Dang, even this gun's not working now? Oh, there we go. How in freaking time did you build that?
Don't get up here, I'm trying to fight you up here. You better start cranking, Joe, because I'm not stopping for you. Did you start building? Oh my god, you start building. You're actually building. Oh my god, you're actually building, Joe. Joe. No! Why are you doing that? Ah, I got you. Okay.
You got me? Really?
I'm gonna play in front of you, Joe.
Nope.
Okay. Guys, you trapped, Joe. Now you have no choice but to build.
Dang it. I built my thing and then you want to be a dick.
Wait, Hunter's gone. Oh wait, I can't spell this shit. Forgot.
No, yeah, what were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say, cause are we doing like a costume thing? Are we like, dressing up?
I don't know. I don't know. I've not heard anything about that. I guess it depends.
Do you work tomorrow?
Yeah, no, tomorrow's Wednesday. Cause it's today, or are you talking Thursday?
What's on my today?
Today, Wednesday, no, me no work. I might go see a movie though. We'll see. Oh crap! I don't want to do that.
Let's see the Women King.
Yeah, I kind of want to. Dang it!
God.
How many kills do you need to get for this to end?
You need to get like 2 more kills. The game ends after 2 kills or 2 more. You have to get 2 more kills. One of the first 3 first one kill. Ow.
What the? Got him. I broke free.
You're literally not making sense at all.
I make it fun.
You're cheating.
There's no cheating. You're the one that's cheating. You built an entire fortress.
It's called actually building. It's called doing my
I was building.
Okay, but you're doing it like a really unfair way. Where you're just like excessively building. Like, look at you. You're making a fortress.
Yes, indeed. You don't like my fortress?
No.
You lucky bastard. You don't want this thing to end, do you? That's why you don't want me to get that last kill.
I just need you to kill me. I want this to end as bad as you do.
Come on. There. Shit. Why is it not over?
You have to get a kill, Joe.
I just killed you.
Do it again. Oh, wait, try to shoot me out of the air. Do it. Machine gun Kelly.
Damn it.
It's finally over.
Is it? Doesn't look over. Why did it? Oh, did it end it for you? Okay, good.